program, and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-785-9132. That's 800-785-9132. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-785-9132.
Hey, this is Howie.
And this is Nick
from the Backstreet Boys, and you're listening to the Zach Gelb Show. And guess what? Zach is back. All right.
He's live. He's nationwide. This is the Zach Gelb Show.
It's time to answer Ask the Pros question of the day. It's brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. AJ in Boise says, Zach, I've already used the Texans and the Chargers, and I need a survivor pick for this week. What do you got? You can submit a question by tweeting at INFSportsNet or at Zach Gelb using the hashtag AskThePros. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get guaranteed low prices and excellent customer service from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. So he already used the Texans and the Chargers. A survivor pick this week. Cleveland beating the Giants. I kind of like that. Let's see. Any other obvious one?
Bucks over Broncos, maybe?
I was just going to say that, Stu. Bucks over Broncos. I'm looking at the slate, and then I'm just like, the Broncos offense stinks. And that Tampa defense, that's a good pick. That's not a bad pick. Some will be Raiders, Panthers.
I don't know.
I mentioned you this morning on WFNZ. They were like, do you have any hope for the Panthers? I'm like, yeah, my producer Stu goes, it would be a typical Raiders loss. That would be about it. I think those are Buffalo, Jacksonville, stay away from. You know what? I got it. So you already used the Texans, AJ, and the Chargers. I like that suggestion that you said, Stu. Bucks, and find a way to get the job done against the Broncos. I could recommend Cleveland over the Giants. The pick I would make, they're home too, Cincinnati. Cincinnati beating the Commanders on Monday night.
2 Monday night games this week.
Yeah, you got the Bills and the Jaguars, and then the Bengals and the Commanders. All righty, let's end this week out in style with a little onside, offside. Stu, hit it.
Zach's taking on the most polarizing issues in sports. Which side of the line of scrimmage will he end up on?
Offside. Defense number 69.
It's Onsides, Offsides with Zach Gelb.
All right. What do we got, Stu?
All right, Zach. As we mentioned, the Jets dominated the Patriots last night, nearly tripling their yardage output and more than doubling their time of possession. Aaron Rodgers was sharp, completing 77% of his passes to 8 different receivers. Onsides, offsides, the Jets are the best team in the AFC East.
Offside, it's still the Buffalo Bills. I know Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers, right, you're splitting hairs, but that Bills team has won the division every year since 2020, so until someone finds a way to take them down, I will believe in the Bills more than the Jets. I think the Jets had a heck of a performance last night. I love the mobility of Aaron Rodgers. Didn't love their performance up against the Niners, though. Didn't love their performance up against Tennessee. I still think they have a lot to prove. I know what the Bills are, even without Stephon Diggs. So I think the Bills are better than the Jets. So I will go offside on that one. You say the Jets are the best team in the AFC East.
Offside.
All right, there are 5 teams with playoff and even Super Bowl aspirations that are 0-2 so far. The Colts, Jags, Bengals, Ravens, and Rams. Indy hosts the Bears. The Ravens face the Cowboys. The Rams take on the Niners. The Jags have the Bills. And the Bengals battle the Commanders on Monday night. Onsides, offsides, none of these teams will make the playoffs if they lose this weekend.
Yeah, if any of those teams start the year 0-3, I can't buy in to you. So I would actually say onsides, and you say none of these teams will make the playoffs if they lose this weekend. Yeah, I'll go onsides on that one. I'll buy it.
Bryce Young will ride the pine for the winless Panthers, and yesterday he spoke to the media saying he'll use this as a learning experience.
There's a lot of plays that, for last year in these first 2 games, for the most part, every snap hit my hands, and I didn't do enough with it at the end of the day. I take accountability for that. There's plays, there's stuff, there's long list of things that, I wish I was better at, and I'm going to continue to work to grow and improve on and be better at. So I'm always going to look in the mirror. Circumstances are what they are for not just me, but for everyone. Everyone's dealing with something. Everyone has circumstances. If I went out there and played better and we won games, at the end of the day, that falls on me that didn't happen, and we wouldn't be having this conversation. So right now I am where I am, and all I can do is try to be better each and every day.
Now, we've seen other former high picks like Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, and Justin Fields see a resurgence after disappointing starts to their careers.
Pump the brakes on Justin Fields and Sam.
Onside, offsides, Bryce Young can still develop into a franchise quarterback in the NFL.
Onsides. Out of that list, I'll take Baker Mayfield seriously. Darnold and Fields way too premature. But I think Bryce Young, as long as he gets out of Carolina, could go somewhere else and have a chance to be the guy like what Baker is to Tampa Bay. So I will say onsides.
USC is 2-0 and have a big top 25 test traveling to Ann Arbor to take on the defending champion Wolverines. Junior quarterback Miller Moss is averaging over 300 yards a game as he takes over for Caleb Williams. Onsides, offsides, USC might actually be a top 3 team in the Big Ten.
I think that's onsides. I don't think it's crazy to say. Nebraska has impressed a lot of people. We know what Ohio State is. Oregon has been underwhelming to start the season, even though they had a nice win last week. But outside of that, Michigan has had a down year. This is their last chance to kind of impress people and get their season back on track. And Penn State, great week 1 victory, but then in week 2, up against Bowling Green, that was not an encouraging performance. So I don't think it's crazy to say that USC might actually be a top 3 team in the Big Ten on sides.
In one of the most epic single-game performances in baseball history, Shohei Ohtani became the first member of the 50-50 club after going 6 for 6 with 3 home runs, 2 doubles, 10 RBIs, and 2 stolen bases. Over in the American League, Aaron Judge is having a historic season himself, chasing a triple crown, leading the majors in home runs, RBIs, OPS, and WAR, while sitting third with a .321 batting average. Onsides, offsides, Ohtani is having...
Offsides, I know Ohtani has more steals than Aaron Judge, but Aaron Judge has a .321 average, Ohtani has a .294 average. Aaron Judge has 53 home runs, Ohtani has 51. Judge has 136 RBIs, Ohtani has 120, and Judge plays the field. So, hey, I'd like to have both on my team, or just one on my team, and half of their production. But with that being said, I actually think Judge is having the better season than Ohtani. So when you say Ohtani's having a better season than Judge, I go offside.
Offside.
All right, and last one, Joel Embiid is currently one of the best players in basketball, but has somehow never gone to a conference finals with the Sixers. Despite his injury history and lack of postseason success, Embiid was given a massive 3-year, $193 million deal that will keep him with the team through 2029. So onsides, offsides, Joel Embiid will finally lead the Sixers to a conference finals this season.
There's a chance. I got to see if Paul George and Embiid are going to stay healthy, though. But if they are healthy as a duo with Maxey, yeah, they could get to a conference finals. But will they? I'm going to say offside until they are healthy and clutch in those moments.
Offside.
All righty, that's the Zach Gelb Show on the Infinity Sports Network. I just want to say something before I get on out of here. On Monday, unfortunately, my family lost my grandmother, my dad's mom, at the age of 93. She had a great life, my grandma Joni, and one of the kindest people that I've ever met. And she was so wise and witty and fun and just a great grandmother. And I know each and every year we do these jokes leading into Thanksgiving on how it's lasagna, 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 and we don't do turkey. That's because my grandmother made the best lasagna that there ever is. And she was a tremendous cook. And not only that, just a better person and helped so many people in her line of work for so many years. So it is a tough week for my family. I know some people have reached out because I put this on social media, and I just was been avoiding it all week on the air because it's kind of tough to talk about. Hey, people, I'm fortunate to be 30, have my grandmother be around for 30 years of my life, 93 years she lived. She's married to my grandfather, who's still alive, and my grandfather's not that far away from 100. I won't say his actual age, but they were married for 73 years. 73 years. And if you want to know the definition of love, it's my grandma Joni and obviously my grandpop Sandy. So I just wanted to share that and say thank you for everyone that did reach out. That will do it today. And obviously, Grandma, we love you and rest in peace. But that will do it today on the Zach Gelb Show on the Infinity Sports Network. I will be on WFAN tomorrow from 9 to 9:30 a.m. for the greatest 30 minutes of radio. And then on Sunday, you can hear me right here on the Infinity Sports Network for Sunday morning football from 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. We'll talk to you Monday on the Zach Gelb Show at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Have a fun, safe weekend, everybody. We out. Bye-bye. Peace.
Paramount Plus is once again your home to stream the NFL on CBS. Follow all the action and stream your live local NFL on CBS game every Sunday, all the way through the AFC Championship. Sign up, sign in, and start streaming Paramount Plus today.
Check it out, the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence and camera control for easy access. At Verizon, you can get it when you trade in any phone from one of their top brands.
Any?
Any.
Even if it's 4 years old?
Yeah.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk?
Yep.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk, then a scooter runs it over, so now it's not just old and cracked, but shattered?
With Verizon, the answer is always yes. New and existing customers can trade in any phone from one of our top brands in any condition for the new iPhone 16 Pro with unlimited Ultimate. Trade-in terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Paramount Plus is once again your home to stream the NFL on CBS. Follow all the action and stream your live local NFL on CBS game every Sunday, all the way through the AFC Championship. Sign up, sign in, and start streaming Paramount Plus today.
Do you have over $10,000 in credit card debt? The stress from excessive credit card debt can ruin your life. Collection calls, sleepless nights. If you're feeling the financial impact with unprecedented economic challenges, DebtBlue is here for you. DebtBlue uses secret programs that most credit card companies won't tell you about. They'll help you consolidate or settle your debts for a fraction of what you owe. With DebtBlue's Success Guarantee, you pay nothing unless your debt is reduced or completely resolved. There's no risk. The more you owe, the more DebtBlue can save you. See how easy it is to get started with free information. Let DebtBlue show you how 10 minutes could save you thousands. Call now. 800-200-6895. That's 800-200-6895.
I'm just living sky high right now. I'm very thankful for it. And the team at DebtBlue are phenomenal. They're able to work with you. They're great.
Call for your free debt resolution information now. 800-200-6895. 800-200-6895.
Advertisement sponsored by Allied Injury Group, not available in all states. This important message from Allied Injury Group reminds you that if you or someone you love was injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, you deserve financial compensation for your medical expenses, lost wages, pain, and suffering. Don't rely on insurance companies to look out for you. If you haven't spoken to an attorney, call our legal experts now. Work accident, truck accident, collision with an uninsured driver, or a slip and fall. Allied Injury Group has helped clients win hundreds of millions of dollars in damages. They're available 24/7 to take your call and fight for you. Remember, if you or someone you love suffered injuries in an accident that wasn't your fault, like being struck by a drunk driver, a collision with an 18-wheeler, were a victim of workplace negligence or more, get the financial compensation you deserve. Call Allied Injury Group for a free consultation now.
Call 800-894-6680. That's 800-894-6680. Again, 800-894-6680.
Attention all patriots. This is Jason Hansen, former CIA officer and security expert. I have an urgent message for anyone who's concerned about their financial future. In a world filled with economic uncertainty and geopolitical turmoil, it's never been more important to have a rock-solid plan for protecting your wealth. That's why I'm inviting you to a special financial briefing this Thursday. During this exclusive summit, you'll get proven top strategies for safeguarding your hard-earned assets and securing your financial independence. We'll cover everything from diversifying your portfolio to creating a fail-safe emergency fund. Don't leave your future to chance. Call my friends at Advantage Gold today at 800-741-GOLD to register at no cost whatsoever. In today's uncertain times, it's critical to have a solid plan in place to protect your finances and secure your future. Call 800-741-GOLD now to register for this 100% free summit. That's 800-741-GOLD.
Paid for by Advantage Gold. Performance may vary. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Always consult your financial and tax professional.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There is a tremendous price war in the term life industry. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month, level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call today for a quote. 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Remember, 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans. We can talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports. Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. KWBT-FM, HD2 Waco, Temple, Killeen, Fort Cavazos. The new leader in sports in Central Texas is Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back into another edition of Centex Prime Time. I'm your host, Jalen Gillis, here on Infinity Sports Radio, Central Texas, and also on Centex Sports Network. Happy Friday to everybody out there. We know a lot of you are traveling, getting ready for your games tonight, as high school football is prominent here in not only Central Texas, but the entire state and nation on Friday nights. That kind of takes over everything on Fridays. So on Fridays, we know we like to do a special edition of Friday Night Lights for Centex Primetime. We've got a special guest coming on here at the show with us today. Before we get started, guys, as always, thanks everybody for watching with us all week and today as well. Make sure you guys go over to the YouTube Centex Sports Network or Centex Sports TV on YouTube to be able to watch this content 5 to 7 on weekdays. Or you can jump over onto the app Centex Sports One and download the app on the Google Play or the Apple Store. If you want to be able to listen to this content from wherever you're at, whether you're at work, in your cars, or at home, wherever you're at, Centex Sports One, the app, download it, and you can listen to this weekdays 5 to 7 p.m. Folks, like I said, we got a special guest on here joining with us today, or former Baylor Bear, somebody that's got ties to this city here in Waco where the studio is at, and also former NFL and XFL, current XFL linebacker, Mr. Jordan Williams is in here with us today. Jordan, what's going on, bro?
Hey, what's happening, man? I appreciate you having me on, bro.
Oh, no, big time, big time. It's nothing. So, like you said, or like we was talking about, man, a lot of football been going on the last couple of weeks. We got college football that started. High school football has been doing its thing. NFL. It's just that good time of year, man. So I wanted to ask you about your former squad, man, this Baylor Bears team. Now, we know you were on there on 2019 out there with Coach Rule in one of his last years there. Y'all had a really good season in your senior year. How does it feel seeing this Baylor team kind of getting back to that what you guys had going in 2019 back when you were a senior there?
Oh, man, it's so dope, bro, man, just seeing the program being able to build and, really become like a value-based program, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Coach Randall's built a whole program based on what he believes and how things should go. And I haven't been around much lately because I've been traveling around and doing my own thing, you know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, watching from afar, man, it looks like, they're getting it together, man. It's like I've seen they're paying players now too, so that's a big thing.
Hey, you came in a little bit too early, bro. You could have had you a couple of dollars, man, going while you was out there playing for Baylor. No, for sure. So they got a. Oh yeah, definitely. They got a big game coming up this weekend, man, against Colorado. A game that a lot of people are going to be watching. Not only the Baylor side, but we know the fanfare that Colorado brings with them, and this is going to be a tough environment for them going up to Boulder, Colorado, to be able to play this game. Just give us some quick thoughts about What do you think about this game this weekend at 7 o'clock?
Honestly, man, I see Baylor taking it.
Yeah.
I see Baylor coming into Colorado, man, getting a big dub in front of, like you said, man, the huge eyes that are about to be on this game from all around the world. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Colorado got a couple good players, man, but I feel like Baylor has a better team all around. And yeah, man, this is going to be one of them games where they just, start going down the hill and everything just starts working for them.
Yeah. They started out, they're 2-1 right now on the season. They dropped the game to Utah, but they've got a chance to really make some noise in the Big 12 going out throughout the rest of this season. And it's going to start right here in this Colorado game. And I'm agreeing with you, man. Right. I think Baylor's front seven up there is going to be too much for that offensive line, honestly, in Colorado. We know they've had their struggles. And Shedeur, like you said, he's a great player. Travis Hunter, he's a great player. But their line hasn't been able to get much going for them so far over these last few weeks. So I think Baylor has definitely got the advantage there when you talk about what the O-line can do and what the D-line can do for them. So they've got some young guys on this squad, and they've got some veterans on this squad as well. So what do you think some of those keys to the game are going to be for this Baylor squad coming into this game and how they can come out with the win?
One, man, the environment, man. You have to control the environment as much as possible, and that starts with everybody that's in green, gold, white, whatever jersey they're wearing. Those are the only people that matter. And if they go in there with that mentality, like it's us against everybody in this place, man, I feel like that mentality will take them further. It'll at least start the game off, man. And then after that, bro, is just staying focused. Like not worrying about what goes up, what goes down, man, just playing football. And like we said at the beginning, man, honestly, the talent would just take care of itself, man. You got two good players over there, man, and then not the rest of the team is kind of like, But Baylor has players all over the board, like my boy Garmin, my boy Matt Jones. These older guys on the team, man, that are now leaders. They're going to be able to push them forward, man. And I like what I've seen from the quarterback that came in, man.
Yeah, Sawyer Robertson. Yeah, he looked good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he really did a good job pushing the ball down the field, and I'm excited to see what he can do his second week getting out there and running this offense. Talk a little bit about what it's like to play in these environments. I mean, you got to play at Oklahoma, at Texas, at all these huge stadiums where the crowd can really get going in some of those games. Just talk a little bit about what it's like, and if you had to pick which one you think was the hardest or maybe the loudest stadium. I won't say the hardest, but the loudest stadium to have to go in and play in when you were here at Baylor.
Man, so I can have a two-part answer. The loudest would be Oklahoma, but the hardest place to play, in my opinion, was Iowa State. Well, when my last time playing there. Because, man, it was freezing cold, bro, but you have to, again, like the whole environment is everybody's against you, man. Like nobody wants you to win. Nobody wants to see you do good. You make a big catch, it's silent in the building. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like all the things that you want, they're not happening because you're not at home. You don't have your fan base. But like I said, man, just being able to look around in that moment because you're backed up against the wall, everybody's against you, man, and you look to your right and your left and you see your brothers out there, and you want to win, man. That's literally it. It's not about being on TV. It's not about beating Prime. It's not about beating Shedeur, Travis Hunter, whoop-de-whoop. All that doesn't matter. A W or a L, that's all that matters. And if they keep that mentality, bro, like all that outside noise, all the stadium noise, all the fanfare, that stuff won't even matter.
No, definitely. And like you said, you got to play in some I forgot about Iowa State when I was thinking about those. They definitely have a rowdy crowd. I haven't got a chance to go to that stadium, but I've been to UTs and I've been to Oklahoma's, and I know how loud they can get there. So looking forward to big things for Baylor coming up on this weekend. How do you think they can do throughout the rest of their season here? They got some more big games coming up. They still got to play against Iowa State, who you just talked about. They had to play at Iowa State, and that's in a couple of weeks. They still got to play against a really good Oklahoma State team as well. So what do you think Baylor can do for the rest of this season, and what will be some of those keys that they can lean in on to have some success throughout the rest of this season?
Man, I would say, too, definitely leading on the older guys. A lot of the older guys just taking the reign, man, and making the season what they wanted. But also, too, man, just like you said earlier, bro, this is going to be a big game, man, for them to decide if they want to win out the rest of the year, if they want to be a competitive team. Going against this environment, stuff like that, will really turn the tables, or, it'll continue to just, show, like, where we need work at. But throughout the rest of the year, man, I see him winning some games, man. I see him pull off some upsets because everybody's gonna be against him. You know how Baylor is, bro. So,
yeah,
yeah, man. So yeah, man, I see him coming out with a few good big dubs, bro. That will, get everybody's eye back looking at them, man. They're gonna at least go to a bowl game.
No, for sure. Yeah, I definitely see a bowl game in their future. And Dave Aranda's doing a good job turning this program back around. And like I said, just getting them back to some of those squads that you guys had when you were on the team here. So a couple other teams I wanted to talk about, one of them being the team right down the highway here from Baylor. That was a rival when you were there, so you might not have too much good to say about them. But this University of Texas squad, man, they've been making a lot of noise out there in Austin. Man. They're ranked number 1. A lot of talent on this team, probably the most talent I've seen on this Texas roster in over a decade, honestly. I mean, this is a stacked team at just about every single position. I mean, they lose their quarterback, and then they have another quarterback that comes right in and steps in, looks like it doesn't miss a beat or could be even better. So what do you think about this Texas team being ranked number 1? And then, how much noise do you think they can make? Can they go all the way with this squad? Do they have enough pieces to be able to win a national championship or get to the national championship game with this squad they have right now?
Oh, man. So, yeah, man. Hey, shout out to you too, man. I say that, bro. But
yeah.
At the end of the day, man, they lucky they don't got to play Baylor no more.
Hey.
That number right there to be knocked down, bro. But at the end of the day, man, like you said, bro, the talent has always been there, I feel like. At UT, like you said, it's a lot. It's all over the field this year. But one thing I've really seen, bro, is like they actually play like a team now. You know what I mean? It's not a bunch of individuals out there just playing football. They're actually out there with I can't say his name, Starskeezy.
Yeah, Steve Sarkisian. Yeah.
He's done a great job, man, about just really having them play team complementary football.
Yeah.
You don't see any of the individuals no more. Like you said, Ewers went down and Arch came in, man. He looked good too, bro.
Yeah,
so,
he did.
That's a positive thing, man. They look really good. So I honestly, I don't know. I see Georgia winning again this year, but that's just me, man.
No, for sure. Hey, that ain't no bad answer with that. Georgia still looks like some dogs out there. They struggled a little bit last week against Kentucky, but everybody's gonna have their struggles as they go throughout the season. So I'm expecting them and Ohio State and Alabama and all them to be right up there at the end of the season. Who do you think, if you had to choose? I know it's early. It's only been 3 weeks. Probably like who's going to be in that Final Four and those Final Four teams. The college football playoffs extended now to 12 teams, so it'll be a little different than what it's been in the past. But just looking at these top teams in the nation now, do you think these top 4 that are there will be those top 4 teams, or you think some of those guys will kind of switch out? I think right now it's Texas, Georgia, Ohio State, and Alabama is the top 4 right now.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. That sounds like a for sure pick to me.
Yeah, me too.
I see a few guys that can shake something up, but yeah, man, them teams right there are dominant, bro, and I don't really see too many people beating them at all.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think those top 4 teams, and even though it's this early, I still think these top 4 teams are going to be a problem as it goes throughout the rest of the season. Ohio State, I think, is going to make a lot of noise. They haven't really played anybody yet, so a lot of people aren't talking about them, but they got a lot of dogs on their team too. Seeing the young guy Jeremiah Smith out there as a freshman dominating already. So
that's number 4, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He's a monster out there, and I think he's still 17 or 18, just turned 18.
17 years old, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy to think.
Man. Then you got the 17-year-old from Bama.
Yeah, Ryan Williams.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, these dudes are making an impact early, man. They're making an impact as soon as they come in. I think I just seen the Ryan Williams kid got inked a Red Bull deal for NIL, so he's already going to be getting some cheese, and he's just 17 years old. So, it's a little bit different, Jordan, than when it was when you were in college a few years ago, man.
And I say salty, bro.
Yeah. You were born just a couple years too early. That's all it was.
Facts, bro. Facts.
Yeah, so, Jordan, like I said, man, former Baylor Bear here. Folks, for everybody just now tuning in with us, we got Jordan Williams on here, former Baylor Bear. I want to talk about your time, man, in the XFL, bro. You've really been doing your thing over these last couple of years, man, in the XFL, making a lot of noise and really holding down your team. Your team has had a lot of success since you've joined there. You've had a lot of individual success as well since you've joined in that league, man. Just talk about what it's like playing in the XFL, what it's like to keep going, playing football, and the impact that you've been able to have on your team since you've been there.
Man, I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. So, coming out of Baylor, man, I came out during COVID, so that was already, a steep hill to climb. But then, this league came back around, bro, and I signed, and I'm gonna say I'm going on my third year playing in the XFL or UFL now. Man, it's just been fun, bro. Like to actually go back out there, man, and play ball and to make some type of bread with it, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
We can sit here and say, bro, it's a real intelligent game, man. This is a child's game, man, that we get to play, and I get to have fun, bro, and legally get to hit people when I'm aggressive, when I'm upset, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that, bro. So it's just been fun, man. It's been dope. I got coached by Hines Ward, Jim Herman, Joey Porter. And these guys are like legends, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Then I had my passer in this next year coming up, man. I got the Wade Phillips, man. So, just seeing these guys, bro, just seeing a lot of guys that are in my same position too, player-wise, that things didn't work out the way they wanted them to. The opportunity didn't shake out how it needed to be, timing, things like that. When you see that their talent literally overexceeds that and you're like, bro, why are you not in the NFL? And and to hear that personally, from other teammates or other NFL vets that have been in there for 8 years, man, and to tell me my game is up to that par, bro, man, it scratched every itch for me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now I'm just going out there, man, and just enjoying myself, just enjoying every snap, bro. Because, being in college, even when I was at Baylor, man, I kind of look back, not to say that I regret anything, but I do regret how I wish I would have took advantage of it every single day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just perspective now. But, yeah, man, it's been so fun over there, man. We're going on our third year. We played in the championship last year. We should have won. You know how that goes.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
So we'll be back. We'll double back this year, man. And we're down in San Antonio, man. So if anybody ever wants to come down from Waco, man, holla at me.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I'm definitely going to try to catch a couple of the games this year. San Antonio ain't that far at all, and you definitely been doing your thing out there. You talked about it a little bit. Speak to the competition level that's in this league. We've seen other leagues over the years have tried to form, but none of them really stuck around. And over the last few years, this league has really shaped form and is really turning into something special. And like you said, there's a lot of super talented dudes and a lot of big name guys in there too. It's not just guys, just walking in off the streets. No, these are high level football players coming out here and competing against each other. Like you said, going to the league, it's not just about talent. There's so many different things that factor into that. Health plays a part in that. Timing plays a part in that. Just location. There's a lot of different things that play a part in going to the NFL. But it's been cool to see other guys like a Hakeem Butler or other guys that have gotten opportunities to come back into the league from this. So just speak to that competition level that takes place week to week in the XFL or the UFL.
Oh, yeah, man. Like you said, man, there's some big names in there, man. Like, we played against A.J. McCarron, man. You just remember watching him as a kid or back in school, and you're just like, bro, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just the talent that you're wanting to play against, the talent that you see in the NFL, that's like you said, it all comes down to those variables. And so it's like this is great for guys that do not get that opportunity or that shot or get stuck, get where they stick in and stick around. They can come to this league, man, get good film. And yeah, man, we played against some dope dudes, bro. Like there's some guys, man, I watched when I was in school, bro. They're 30-year-old, like, man, I played with a guy named Cody Latimer last year, bro. Dude had a Super Bowl ring, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just so dope to me, man. And just being able to see, like, a few of these guys, like I was saying earlier, man, like, just some of the guys that played in the NFL that are just coming in, just keep playing and end their careers off right, by just playing football. And these guys are, telling me, like, bro, you look good, bro. Just do this, do that. And I appreciate every bit of it, bro, because I'm competing against the best, at the end of the day. Like, these are still, great players that maybe things just didn't work out, So there's a lot of running backs in this league, man, that actually played in the NFL. I know we played a few. I know we got a few on our team, man. Anthony McFarland, John. I know John Lovett. We got some NFL backs, man. So it's really been fun, man. Just seeing how football has changed in a sense, like the gameplay. But yeah, man, everything about football is still so fun, man. Just seeing the different competition some of these guys that really put on, like you said, put household names, man. Like they're in this league playing against you, and you're actually able to compete and see where you stand. You know what I mean?
No, definitely. And like I said, man, we're definitely rooting for you here. And I'm going to try to make my way down to a couple of games as y'all season starts back up. We get some free time up here. But want to talk about a little bit about the NFL before we let you go on here, man. We're in week 3 now of the league that just started off yesterday with the game that probably nobody was watching in the second half with the Patriots and the Jets. But a lot of good games coming up this weekend and a lot of good games that's already taken place so far in this league, man. Just who are some people that are kind of catching your eye? Are there any teams that have, caught you by surprise as the season started, or some teams that you expect to keep dominating as the season just started here?
Hey, man, Houston, shout out to Petey, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Boy, Jalen Petrie, but they've built a team, a squad over there, man.
Yeah, man.
Like, you see a lot of guys like Joe Mixon, man. You got a squad. You got Diggs. You got this back core of DBs, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane, man. And I see the Texans making a little run. They surprised me for sure. I see Justin Fields stepping in with the Steelers, man. He's making a good run. Opportunity presented itself. He step in and take full advantage of it. You know what I mean? So see where he goes with that, bro. And then I ain't gonna lie to you, man. You hurt my feelings, man, when you said it. But, hey, the Jets, they made it boring. So, I want them to win, man. A-Rod is that man. So,
Oh, no, they did what they were supposed to do. It was the other team made it boring.
Fact. Man. We got to see 2 of our guys, too, man. Taquan Thornton and Michael Hasty played in the games, too, man. So
yeah,
that was
for
dope.
sure.
So dope.
Yeah, so speak a little bit about your teammate. You just talked about Petrie playing on this Texas team, and I'm a Texas fan, so I'm loving it anytime you get a chance to talk about the Texans. So, but talk about Petrie and getting a chance to see him out here really living his dream out, man, being a guy from that Houston area and getting to come back to Houston playing for the Texans, and really being one of the main features on this team. He's a huge piece to the Texans secondary for sure.
Absolutely, man. I know if you follow other football, you kind of know better Petrie's story, man.
Mm-hmm.
Dude came in when everybody in his class decommitted. You know what I mean? And he stuck around, bro, and held it down through Baylor, man. He got hurt, injuries. They moved him from position to position, and he finally got to a position where he could really just play, man. And it was so incredible, bro, to just see him go out there and ball, bro. Like, there was no drop-off. There was no, oh, man, this guy's going to need some work. This guy came in and straight ball, bro.
Yeah.
I love Petey to death, man. That's my little brother, man. But, just seeing him, man, like, we would play Madden together, bro, and just hearing his knowledge and football IQ, bro, and then you see it on display, and now everybody sees it. I can't remember his first name, but Baldy, he does, like, Baldy's tapes.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that, man.
Yeah.
He was just giving so much praise to Petrie, and like you said, bro, just being able to see that, man, it makes me proud to know him. It makes me proud to play with him, and just proud of my brother, man. That's so dope.
No, for sure. And like I said, he's a huge part of that Texans team, and a huge part of that secondary, man, and really a future star in the making. So it's really cool to get to see. I'm rooting for any of the Baylor Bears that get to the league, but it's definitely cool to see him get a chance. And like you said, knowing his story and what he went through, and he was there during some of the dark times at Baylor and stayed there until he was able to elevate all the way to them winning the Big 12 championship. So it's super dope to see him out there competing with his team week in and week out. Want to touch on quickly the other team up here in Texas, man. I don't think you're too much of a fan of them. I know I'm not, but they're the most talked about team in football still, regardless. They got Baltimore this weekend, man. Just wanted to get quick prediction on what do you think is going to happen in this game. We know we saw what happened with New Orleans last week, and both of these teams are trying to rebound. Honestly, Dallas got embarrassed on Sunday, but Baltimore's coming into this game 0-2, and they dropped a game to a Raiders team that they probably should have won against. So both of these teams are going to come in hungry. Both teams looking to make some noise in this game. How do you see this one shaking out with Baltimore and Dallas on Sunday?
Like you said, man, they both got, like, they dropped off a game that they shouldn't have. Dallas got embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
I think you go back to the drawing board, man, go back to the X's and O's and go back to the basics. So I feel like I see Baltimore coming out there, man, but at the end of the day, man, the Cowboys, on paper, they have one of the best teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't play like it. That's just neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, bro, they have one of the best teams on paper. And they don't take advantage of it enough. And I don't know. I can sit here and speculate all day. Have Cowboys fans mad all throughout Texas. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But, yeah, definitely see Baltimore come in, man, and take this dub because Lamar, like you said, bro, that first game against the Chiefs, bro, there's no way that they shouldn't have won that game. First one. But, yeah, so I think, again, man, this right here will turn it around for him the whole season, bro. He's going to come out there, like you said, with that chip on his shoulder, hungry, both teams. But, again, I see Baltimore pulling it out. I can even give you a score prediction, 21-17.
Low scoring game. Hey, I like that. I think it's kind of going to be a low scoring game too. I don't see either offense going out here and going too crazy. It's probably going to be a defensive game, and whoever can limit turnovers, I think is probably going to be the team to win this one too. But I'm taking Baltimore in that game, man. I think 0-2. I don't think the Ravens are trying to go to 0-3. They got to give Derrick Henry the ball. They haven't been able to figure it out yet, but they got to give him the ball at some point. And it's probably going to start this week with a Dallas team that really can't stop the run like that. So looking forward to that game. It's at 3 o'clock on Sunday. For those of you listening, you can listen right here on 94.5 FM to hear that. We are the flagship station for the Dallas Cowboys here in the Central Texas area. So you can be able to hear that game if you're riding in your car or listening on the radio right here on 94.5 FM. Jordan, before we let you go, man, it's Friday night. It's high school football here in Texas. You know that feeling oh too well, man. Just speak a little bit about your time playing in high school, man, and how special that was. A lot of people always go back to their high school days, man, because it was such a team-oriented game. Then it's really just about hanging out with your friends, them long bus rides to other cities and stuff. You really build so much camaraderie with your teammates and stuff. So talk a little bit about what it was like playing on Friday nights.
Hey, it's nothing like it, man. Especially, man, I'm from a small East Texas town, Paris, Texas, bro.
Yeah.
And when I tell you Friday nights, man, we used to the whole city was just so wrapped around the football game. And yeah, like you said too, bro, we built so many deep relationships, bro, just through football, just through blood, sweat, tears. As ironic as that sounds, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really get out there and you see what your friends are about. Like, you can have a couple friends, but you know that in tough situations, they're not about that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it was just fun, bro, like going out there and really competing. And again, you know, when you take it serious, bro, like you said, like, or when you look at the seriousness of it in high school football, you really got to enjoy the game. College, you got to enjoy it, but it got a little political. And then, you know, after college, bro, you'll never be on a team again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like college or high school. So, yeah, man, just going out there and enjoying every minute of that, bro. If I could go back and do it again, I would. Everything exactly the same way, bro. Just going out there, man, and just enjoying yourself, bro, and putting on for your family and for your town. And, yeah, man, shout out to them Paris Wildcats, man. They need to get a dub tonight.
For sure. Nah, definitely.
Sir.
Nah, it's nothing like the Friday Night Lights, like you said, especially in those small towns, man. Even when we're doing these games, I love getting a chance to go out to those smaller towns, man, because it means a lot out there. Like you said, it seemed like the whole city shut down. Right. Everybody's out there, and some of these, it's like that's the pro team in their city, man. Everybody's showing up. The business is shutting down. They want to come and see their team perform on Friday night. So looking forward to a lot of great games around the Texas area tonight and Friday Night Football. Jordan, want to appreciate you, man, for coming on here with us, bro, and talking some ball. Definitely don't want this to be your last time coming on the show. We'll get a chance to chop it up some more and, you know, talk about some more of these games, man.
Yes, sir. That sounds fun, man. Hey, proud of you, bro. Keep doing your thing, man.
Hey, I appreciate that. Man. We'll chop it up.
Facts.
All right, bro. I'm going to talk to you. So that was Jordan Williams, like we said, folks, the former Baylor Bear and the current XFL/UFL standout down there in San Antonio. Folks, we're going to talk some high school football when we come back in hour number 2. Here in hour number 1, when we come back, we got to talk about this Jets versus Patriots game last night, talk about these games leading into week 3 in the NFL, and give you some of the predictions we have coming up. I got PJ joining on here with me, and I got Quay coming on here with me as well. We'll be back after this break. Stay tuned.
If you're looking for something new and unforgettable in Waco, come to the Blazing Asian, where authentic Cambodian flavors meet creative culinary flair. Voted People's Choice as Waco's #1 Asian restaurant since 2019 by both the Wacoan Magazine and the Waco Tribune Herald. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin, we're serving up family recipes with a twist. Blazing Asian egg rolls are rolled fresh daily, and their sauces or marinades are made in-house with love. Stop by today. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin. And for Baylor students, enjoy 10% off with your student ID.
Central Texas home for sports.
It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans. We can talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports.
NSJ Event Co., one of the premier event designers in Central Texas and a Centex Sports Network supporter. Voted Waco Awards Event Planner of the Year 2021, NSJ Event Co. is your go-to source for event planning. Whether it's your next baby shower, birthday bash, wedding, or retirement party, NSJ Event Co. will bring out the elegance, class, and style your event deserves. Call NSJ Event Co. at the number on the screen or scan the QR code to schedule a free consultation. NSJ Event Co., where the party lady takes care of all your event needs.
It's the family feels for me. The banana pudding peach cobbler make you want to holler for me. It's the candy yams, mac and cheese, beef tips, pork tips and rice, collard greens. It's the sweet potato pie, sweetie. Fried chicken you've been missing, the lemon sweet tea dressing on Sundays when you all dressed up. Chest pie, buttermilk, and pound cake. Cornbread with butter just dripping, always fresh baked. If you need Southern style, soul food, home cooked meals that you can feel. Chicken and dumplings, chicken pot pie, 719 South 11th Street. Sassies, come on by.
The East Waco Empowerment Project, along with City Center Waco, is hosting WeBo, Workshop and Business Opportunity, to help create more entrepreneurs. Business owners like Aniceto Charles of True Jamaica Restaurant and Carla Dotson of Boardwalk on Elm attended WeBo to develop their business ideas into successful Black-owned businesses right in the heart of East Waco. WeBo can also help you turn your side hustle or business idea into the next thriving Black-owned business in our community. If you would like to attend this 10-week intense entrepreneurial workshop, go to WeBoWaco.org. That's WIBO Waco.org. Space.
Tune in to Primetime Sports Talk with Jalen Gillis.
We can talk about sports. Listen, it's that time.
This is live from the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports Studios.
We live.
Stay ready to voice your thoughts by calling 1-800-215-0598. Right here on Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
Welcome back in, everybody, to Centex Prime Time. I am your host, Jalen Gillis, and we know this is the special edition, Friday Night Lights edition of Centex Prime Time, but we've got some other topics to talk about before we jump into high school football, as we got to see a game that was, not too entertaining. Felt like one of those old Thursday night football games where you don't watch. I think I turned it off at halftime. Not much to watch there, but we're going to talk about the game, folks, and what we got to see last night with the New York Jets and the New England Patriots. I got PJ Gaither on here joining with me. I also have Quay on here with me as well. PJ, what's going on?
Man, I'm doing good.
Yep. Getting ready to talk about some of these games. Well, not much to talk about on this game we're about to, but look forward to some of these other games. Quay, what's going on?
My boy, what's up with it, man?
Hey, nothing much, man. So, let's jump right into this. The New York Jets and the New England Patriots kicked off Week 3 last night in a lackluster game, I guess you could say. 24-3 was the score. The New York Jets, they dominated from start to finish. Didn't have to do much. Only put up 24 points, but like I said, didn't have to really do much. Aaron Rodgers looked a lot better in this game. Their offense seemed to be clicking more, and they went against a pretty decent New England defense. But New England's offense, they're terrible. I think I might have texted a group message yesterday and said, man, I don't know if I've seen an offensive line this bad before, at least in recent memory, that I could think of. I can't think of when an offensive line was this bad. So seeing them go out there and do that, and then the Jets, they did what they were supposed to. They blitzed. It seemed like every play against this team. Jacoby Brissett never really had much time to do anything. And, when the season started, kind of had questions like, why are they starting Jacoby Brissett? You got Drake May on the team, the young guy drafted number 3. You got Joe Milton, who you took late in that round. And this is why they started him, folks. This offensive line is horrible. I can't remember the last time I seen an offensive line. It didn't matter what they did. When they blitzed, he was hit immediately. When they rushed 4, he was hit immediately. When they rushed 3, he was hit immediately. So there was really nothing he could do. Ramondre Stevenson got hurt in that game too. He was really the only bright spot on the offensive side of the ball. So it wasn't much that this New York Jets defense had to do. Didn't get tested a lot in this game. But Aaron Rodgers, like I said, took care of business. He threw his first touchdown in the New York Jets stadium. So they gave him the ball for that. And Allen Lazard looked decent in this game as well. Tyler Conklin looked decent in this game as well. I like the young running back that they got, the young running back duo with Breece Hall and with Braylon Allen. I think both of those dudes can be really good backs. So this Jets team, they got some potential, but last night, not much to talk about in that game. Corey, what do you think about the game last night with the New York Jets and the Patriots?
I like Mayo for the Patriots, but I just think he's having to rebuild a culture of Belichick's ghost, and they showed it. And they don't have any fight in them. As far as, like you said, the offensive line played terrible. Milton is just a fill-in for what they want to do in the future. They've already went away from a first-round pick. But he's having to rebuild his own culture, stepping away from the ghost of Belichick. So I actually like Aaron Rodgers' swagger. If you notice, even when he played bad, he walked off like he had the best game ever.
Yeah.
So it seems like nothing rattles him. His confidence was there. I think he needed this game to get back to feeling like Aaron Rodgers. But to be honest, I don't see anything about Aaron Rodgers' ego changing anyway. But it was a good game for him. Terrible game for the Patriots, but kind of what we expected. Everybody got what they needed to. The stats, if they didn't have any for the Jets, they got them yesterday.
Facts.
Just a mid game. Like you said, wasn't nothing too fancy to watch. Pointed to watch, low key.
Yeah, I didn't stay watching this game too long. Both running backs got some carries, so that was cool. Allen Lazard got a little bit of burn. I'm mad Garrett Wilson didn't get more action, but he did get a touchdown, so he helped my fantasy team out a little bit. PJ, what did you think about this game last night, the Jets and the Patriots?
It was mid.
Yeah.
It really wasn't nothing going on in the game, honestly. I mean, the Jets kind of, they caught their little rhythm a little bit, but I still feel like they could be a lot better. I think both of the running backs rushed for like 50-plus yards. So, that kind of helped a little bit. Aaron Rodgers had a solid game, though. He passed for 27 and 35 for 281 yards with 2 touchdowns. So, that's what really helped, and the defense really showed out. But this Patriots team is they're terrible. Offensively, they're terrible. Defensively, they're pretty good. And I really feel like the only reason why they even got points, that many points scored on them, which was only 24, but still they got that many points scored on them, but just because they were consistently on the field. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So at some point, you're going to give something up. So, like I said, it was a mid game. I don't know, man. It's like anytime I see the Patriots are playing on any night game, whether it's a Monday night, Sunday night, Thursday night, it's just not entertaining.
No.
At all. Yeah, not at all. So, yeah, I expected pretty much happened in the game. Like I said, I feel like the Jets can be a lot better still, but I'm happy to see them kind of catch their rhythm because I've been big on this team since the offseason.
Yeah, like you said, not much to write home about. Pretty mid game in this one. The crazy thing is, it's just the lack of plays that the Patriots, like, they really never had the ball. Like, at any point, they didn't run they only ran the ball 15 times, and they only threw the ball 26 times. Like, they really didn't have the ball that much at all. So that offense has got a lot of work to do, but we don't expect anything from the Patriots this year. And to be honest, when they were winning, their games were boring. They kind of like the Spurs were, like in the 2000s, like they're going to win 60 games, but nobody want to watch 50 back cuts, man, and a bunch of backdoor passes to Ginobili getting easy layups. But that's kind of how the Patriots were even when they were winning. So now that they're not winning, it's even worse. And like you said, PJ, take them off the night games. What are we doing, y'all? Let's stop it. Like, I know we had to get Aaron Rodgers in a Thursday night game. Yeah, that's cool. But what are we doing? What are we doing? Let's get them off of TV. They can play on their local station, whatever the local Boston station is, and let's keep it there. Let's not put the Patriots back on TV. Do them like I do the Panthers. I don't think I've seen the Panthers play on TV in like 3 years. Do them like y'all do the Panthers. So let's take them off of primetime television and get some more guys in there. But focusing in on the Jets, PJ, and you kind of alluded to this going forward. How big of a threat do you think this Jets team can be? I Now the AFC East, it's not wide open, but it does look a lot different with the injury to Tua. We know he's on IR. He's out at least 4 weeks, but it could be more than that. It should be more than that. So that AFC East is a little bit more wide open now. We know the Patriots are going to be at the bottom. Don't know where the Dolphins are going to shake out, and it's going to be between the Jets and the Bills. So they got a chance to come out of their division. It'll be tough to make that wild card spot because I think there's a lot of good teams in the AFC that are going to be shooting for that wild card spot, like the Chargers, like the entire AFC North. Really, any one of them are going to be shooting for a wild card spot, and then like Buffalo and New York still over there. So, where do you see their ceiling being, or how far can they go, and how much of a threat can they be in the AFC? PJ, I'll start with you.
I mean, they got enough weapons on their team, really on both sides to pretty much beat anybody. You know, I feel like when they're at their best, I feel like the thing that's going to hold them back is are they really going to start? You know, are they going to end up really rolling? You know, somewhere during the season. I trust Aaron Rodgers, but I'm trying to just see everybody else that's on that roster. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then still we got to think about it too. He got hurt last year, so it's not like he really got one full season to play in the system. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He probably learned the system a lot more, I guess, you know, sitting out for the whole season last year. But this is his first year now being able to even play in that system. I still think they're going to be really good. They definitely got a chance to win the AFC East for sure. You just kind of got to, you know, see. You just got to see really for the rest of the season. I think with Tua going out, the Dolphins, they're going to kind of, you know, get behind. I don't really see them just winning as many games. Personally, I don't think that he should be back. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of the second impact syndrome.
Yeah.
But that's when, you probably know about it. Like whenever a person has a concussion and they come back too soon and then they get concussed again and they could possibly die on the field.
Yeah.
So me personally, I don't really feel like he should come back. But, I mean, that's on the Dolphins organization. He should honestly be looking to retire because there's something going on, you know, with him that for some reason, if he just get a little tap to the head, he immediately goes into like pretty much like a seizure.
Yeah.
So there's something neurologically that's going on in his brain that it just can't take certain impacts anymore. And I really don't think it's healthy just having him on the field, you know. But I mean that's a whole nother story. But I don't really think the Dolphins are going to be that good. I mean they're going to be good still, of course, but not how we were projecting them to be coming into the season.
Yeah, for sure.
With everyone being healthy. So I mean, it's between the Bills and the Jets. If the Jets really want it, then they're gonna have to go and beat the Bills twice this year at some point.
Yeah,
and
they got to play them.
You got to beat them twice, and then somehow still have a really good, you know, record going into the playoffs. I think they can easily be a playoff team that can, you know, be troublesome for any team that pretty much run up against them.
Yeah, and they got a lot of winnable games coming up on the schedule, so they just got to take care of business. They got the Bills on the 14th of October, but before that, they got the Broncos and they got the Vikings, so they got winnable games coming up. They just got to go out there and execute. Corey, what do you think about this Jets team and how far they can go, and are they a real threat in this AFC?
First of all, let's throw out there that Aaron Rodgers is 40.
Yeah.
I just feel like he still has the confidence. He does still throw a good ball, but I don't know how he's gonna match up with some of these better teams still. As much talent as they haven't missed just yet. And to be honest, for him just to be the second year in their second season together, I feel like him and Wilson still don't have the connection that they need as well. But like PJ said, they may come down the stretch and get rolling. They do have some nice pieces on offense and defense. And he is coming back off of a serious injury, but
yeah.
I think they're gonna be mid-pack. I don't think they make a crazy impact. They may win the division, but that still gets them. I don't think that Super Bowl in my top 3 teams are winning the Super Bowl. But I think they are a good team and they could turn it on. I just don't see it for them. I do like Aaron Rodgers and I do think he can make this team put them over and make them a good team. A good team. They are already a good team on paper. We just got to see them put it all together. And get that game last night is not any indication
None.
of them being good.
I mean, no indication at all. We're definitely not judging it off of last night. We're just projecting what we think the rest of their season can look like. And the thing for Aaron Rodgers is, I think I heard them say it on one of the talk shows earlier today. I mean, like Quay just said, he's 40. And usually 40-year-old quarterbacks are not going to get better than what they were before. He's already a 4-time MVP. But in the last, decade, Aaron Rodgers hasn't been the greatest in the playoffs. He's never beaten the 49ers. I feel like he's been losing to the 49ers since they had Colin Kaepernick. He's lost to him when they had Garoppolo, and he's lost to him when they had Purdy. So he's lost to every version of the 49ers. So I don't see him making, a huge leap in his playoff performance as he gets to the playoffs now at 40. So it'll be tough for them to make some noise. They do have a solid team, solid roster. Their biggest question mark is, can this offensive line stay healthy? Yeah, they got Tyron Smith in the Cowboys. I seen him go out last night with an injury. They got Vera Tucker, the right guard. He's good, but he was hurt last year. They got multiple guys that missed a lot of time last year so on the offensive line. So they got to answer those questions. And then Aaron Rodgers' health. Can he stay healthy throughout the rest of this season? He is a 40-year-old quarterback coming off an Achilles injury. So we'll see as their season progresses. But last night they get a 24-3 win over the New England Patriots. Before we go to break, want to preview another one of these NFL games, man. The game that we all been talking about. Baltimore going into Dallas on Sunday, 3 o'clock. That game will be right here on 94.5 FM, so make sure you guys tune in to listen to that. That's going to be a big game for both these teams. Dallas coming back from getting blown out by the Saints. Baltimore coming back from being 0-2. They're trying not to go 0-3. And it's early in the season, but if this Baltimore team starts 0-3, they got – I don't know what the change is, but some changes have to be made. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board. If they start this season 0-3 after having the best record in the league last year, losing by a field goal in the AFC Championship to the best player in the league, and we're that close to going to the Super Bowl, and then you come out the next season and start 0-3, some changes got to be made. On Dallas' side, after what just happened to you against New Orleans, you cannot start your season, one, getting beat like that 2 games in a row. But definitely for Jerry Jones' side, he don't want to lose 2 home games in a row like that. Now, them people done paid too much good money to come out there and see them play, for them to get blown out last week in the stadium, and for them to be back again this week and a potential to lose in this game when you think about Baltimore's running game and Dallas's lack of run defense. So how do y'all think this game is going to shake out on Sunday? Quay, I'll go right back to you. Baltimore versus Dallas on Sunday.
Man, bro, to be honest, I have no clue.
Yeah.
These two teams are kind of up in the air. I like I said when I came in the beginning of the Cowboys, their first win, like me and you always talking about, they always go grab a win and we harp on it. But I didn't think the Cowboys roster was that talented. I think they had a better roster last year. I think they had better DBs last year. I think we got to, like you said, once they get a lead and they pin their ears back and they can play one style of football, that defense is gonna be good. But you lose Lamar coming in, Lamar can become. They need to win. They can't go 0-3. They can't. Like there's no way Lamar can go 0-3. And then you add Derrick Henry into the mix. Y'all spending too much money to be losing 3 games. But in the reality, it's gonna hurt the Ravens more to lose this game than the Cowboys. But
Facts.
The Cowboys, they gotta win too. We don't know. Both of y'all seasons are in turmoil, to be honest. Because even if the Ravens win, both teams still 1-2.
Yeah.
So it's a bigger win for the Ravens. The Ravens is a must win. The Cowboys, they need this win for their season and them building towards trying to be whatever Super Bowl host that I know they don't have, but they act like they do. But like I said, I really didn't think this Cowboys roster was that talented. I think they do have great pieces, and the people that they paid deserve to get paid, but I just don't think that their roster is a challenge, especially not compared against the Ravens. The Ravens is a way more talented team. They should come in and take care of business, but we haven't seen them take care of business at all. So I don't kind of know, but I'm going to pick the Ravens by 3, and that's why I'm going to go with that.
Yeah, it's hard for me to pick in this game which way to go in this one because, like you said, both teams, they need this win. Dallas just needs to win just really more for their confidence and for morale after what happened to them last week against the New Orleans Saints. But Baltimore, they need this win. You cannot start your season 0-3 after what happened last year, after all the expectations you have coming in to this year. You start the season 0-3 in the most competitive division in the NFL. The AFC North, every team is good. Yeah, the Bengals are 0-2, but we don't think the Bengals are bad. Cleveland's 1-1. We don't think Cleveland's bad. And we know Pittsburgh, it's impossible for them to have a losing season if Mike Tomlin is a coach. So you cannot fall down to 0-3 in this division. It's tough for either team in this game, and it's going to be a big game for both sides. PJ, what do you think about this game on Sunday, Baltimore versus Dallas?
I'm like, Quay, I really don't know what to think of it. I'm not sure who's going to win the game. Both teams really need a win, though. I feel like the Ravens I can't say that. Well, yeah, I mean, it's just hard to see and say who needs to win more. I could easily say the Ravens need it because they're 0-2, but at the same time, when you come off the game that the Cowboys just played, again, blown out like that at home, and then you got to backdoor and play at home the following week, you really want to make up for that type of loss, so I mean, I don't really know what to look forward to. I want to say it's going to be a good game. I'm sure it will be. Both teams right now, man, they just desperate for something, for some type of light, you know what I mean, to come into the season because right now both teams are, they're kind of down right now. Definitely with the way the season has started for both teams. They're both down right now. So I think this can easily help either team, catapult their season and not necessarily into being just, as successful as some of the top teams, but this can kind of help you get your confidence back. Right now, I feel like both teams are kind of lacking confidence. For the Cowboys, it's the defensive side, and on the offensive side, I say they have confidence, but at the same time, they really don't. We have no running game. There's no running game, really. That's non-existent, and really don't have anybody besides CD right now. I mean, Brandon Cooks, but him and Dak really not connecting right now for some reason. And with the Ravens, man, it's I don't really know what necessarily going on. I don't know. I do. The offensive coordinator, he's the one that's holding back this offense from being what we all think that they could possibly be. He really needs to go. I don't really see them prospering with him being their offensive coordinator. I ain't saying fire him right now, but I mean after this season, man, he got to go, bro. He got to go. So it's just a lot that's holding both teams back. But I still do think it's going to be a really good game.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be, the best game of this weekend potentially, or the best game of this NFL weekend potentially, with both of these teams coming in just needing a win, man. Both these teams need a win. They're both got a lot counting on this game. Unfortunately, this early in the season, not too many must-wins this early in the season, but if there ever was a must-win in this one, it kind of feels like this game. Going to the team that beat the Cowboys last week in New Orleans, they got Philly this week. Philly is coming off of a horrible meltdown, one of the worst meltdowns I've seen definitely so far for this year, with letting Kirk Cousins go 60 yards and 60 seconds on you to end the game after you can't convert an off first down. Saquon dropped the ball. The whole team really fell apart. It's really no one's fault. Coaching played a part in it. That drop from Saquon played a part in it. And, of course, their secondary, who I gave Kyrell credit to the other day. He did say how bad that Eagles secondary was going to be, and they are that bad. This Eagles secondary is not good. They're not good at all. They're opportunistic. They can make plays. But when you get drove down on the field like that easily, and then your best corner gets cooked in the end zone by Drake London, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's not much to look forward to after you see that. That's the best dude in your secondary, so you expect him to make big plays. But New Orleans versus Philly, that game's at 12 o'clock. New Orleans obviously coming in, the hottest team in the league. They're leading the team. They're leading the NFL in scoring. The offense looks unstoppable right now with the new coordinator, Clint Kubiak, who came from the 49ers, who is, they run this Shanahan offense, and they've been doing a great job of doing it now with the weapons they have there in New Orleans. How do y'all see this game shake it out real quick before we go to break. PJ, I'll start with you, and then we'll go to Quay.
I think New Orleans really got it, man. It's really with them, man. It's not that. No, I'm not taking anything away from the players. Definitely guys like Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave, or even guys like on the defensive side, Tyrann Matthews. I really feel like though this offense, man, it's the offensive coordinator for them. The same thing I just said about the Ravens, their offense not really being able to prosper because of their offensive coordinator holding them back. I feel like the Saints offensive coordinator, the way he's been scheming this offense so far this season, he has these guys prospering. I mean, he has Derek Carr looking like, he looking like the comeback player of the year.
Yeah, really?
You know what I mean? So far this season, they putting up crazy numbers, and but they just did against that Cowboys defense last week was crazy to me. I'm not really. I was surprised that they won the game. Because when the Saints and the Cowboys play, it's always up for grabs, whoever's going to win. But it's just the way they won the game. So that right now, so far in the first 2 weeks, they're very consistent, and they kind of got their identity right now. So
for sure,
with the Eagles, man, I don't know. I thought they was gonna win that game the other night.
We all did.
I didn't think they were gonna choke like that. But I like Saquon, but Saquon has, to me, he has like a turnover problem as far as fumbling or, and it's not all him on why they lost that game. There's plenty different reasons why they lost that game. I just think that the Saints right now, they're on a roll. And I think coming up this week, they're going to beat, the second NFC East team that they played this season, in the Eagles. So I think that's going to be a really good game, too, though. That game can possibly come down to the wire. So that's a game I'm really going to for sure make sure I tune in to.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the Eagles are going to get beaten this one. I think New Orleans picks up, like you just said, their second win in this NFC East to start. Real quick, Quay, who do you got in this game? Philly and New Orleans. Who do you think is going to come out with a win in that one?
I'm going to take New Orleans. Philly is what Kyrell said it, and it'd be crazy because Kyrell be right when he's not so biased.
Yeah.
So he did say the Eagles secondary was going to be sketchy. He said they were going to struggle down the backstretch last year. They kind of are mimicking what the Cowboys are. I think their coach is a buy all in on players and money, but he hasn't figured their scheme out. He hasn't put Jalen Hurts in the best situation. So I think the Eagles lose that game just because of consistency. I do think if they get a lead, they'll win. But the Saints, and if y'all notice, the 49ers have been struggling as well. We do this every year. We lose a coordinator either on defense or offense. They go to another team and we struggle on the back end. And that's another conversation. But the offensive coordinator do got Derek Carr looking great. He has their offense looking great.
Yeah.
And I think people are sleeping about Michael Thomas too.
I don't think Mike Thomas not playing with them.
Where Mike Thomas is?
The crib.
Oh.
Mike Thomas, I think he might be trying to get over an injury, but they got Olave. That's probably what you were thinking about out there. Olave is a dog.
No, I know they got Olave. I thought they had Mike Thomas on took.
Oh, no. He had the crib counting that money he got the Saints to give him a few years ago. So but they're making the weapons work. I thought they would go pick up another weapon in that passing game, but with what Shaheed has showed so far, he might be the answer with them. And then you got Chris Olave as your mainstay guy. So we'll see. That game is at 12 o'clock on Sunday, New Orleans versus Philly, and that one is at New Orleans as well. Folks, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit of high school football and then jump into some college football before we end. The pregame show is going to start after we get off of air today, so make sure you're ready for that, the La Vega pregame show. We'll talk a little bit about La Vega and some of these other teams when we come back from break. You're watching Centex Primetime here on Infinity Sports Radio Central Texas and on Centex Sports Network.
Are you looking for something new and unforgettable in Waco? Come to the Blazing Asian, where authentic Cambodian flavors meet creative culinary flair. Voted People's Choice as Waco's #1 Asian restaurant since 2019 by both the Wacoan Magazine and the Waco Tribune Herald. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin, we're serving up family recipes with a twist. Blazing Asian egg rolls are rolled fresh daily, and their sauces or marinades are made in-house with love. Stop by today. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin. And for Baylor students, enjoy 10% off with your student ID.
The East Waco Empowerment Project, along with City Center Waco, is hosting WeVo, Workshop in Business Opportunity, to help create more entrepreneurs. Business owners like Aniceto Charles of True Jamaica Restaurant and Carla Dotson of Boardwalk on Elm attended WeVo to develop their business ideas into successful Black-owned businesses right in the heart of East Waco. WeVo can also help you turn your side hustle or business idea into
agreement required for free installation.
Black-owned business in our community. If you would like to attend this 10-week intense entrepreneurial workshop, go to WeVoWaco.org. That's WIBO Waco.org.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans. We can talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports.
NSJ Event Co., one of the premier event designers in Central Texas and a Centex Sports Network supporter. Voted Waco Awards Event Planner of the Year 2021, NSJ Event Co. is your go-to source for event planning. Whether it's your next baby shower, birthday bash, wedding, or retirement party, NSJ Event Co. will bring out the elegance, class, and style your event deserves. Call NSJ Event Co. at the number on the screen or scan the QR code to schedule a free consultation. NSJ Event Co., where the party lady takes care of all your event needs.
Tune in to Primetime Sports Talk with Jalen Gillis.
We can talk about sports. Listen, it's that time.
This is live from the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports Studios.
We live.
Stay ready to voice your thoughts by calling 1-800-215-0598. Right here on Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
Welcome back, everybody, to Centex Primetime here at the top of the hour. Happy Friday to everyone. Those of you just now getting off work and tuning in, want to thank you guys. If you want to watch this content, weekdays 5 to 7, make sure you go to YouTube, CentexSportsNetwork.com, or Centex Sports Network, or Centex Sports TV. If you want to be able to listen on your phone from wherever you're at, download the app Centex Sports One on the Google Play Store and on the Apple Store. You can watch or listen to this content weekdays 5 to 7 on there as well. Folks, it is Friday Night Lights here in Central Texas and all over the nation, as high school teams right now are traveling to their destinations to get their games going. Most games kicking off in about an hour here as we get ready. The La Vega pregame show will be on following this show today. We stopped the Friday streams at 6:30, so we got about 30 minutes left. We're going to try to get some high school football in here and talk about a couple of these college games as the weekend is coming up. So I'm also here joined with PJ Gaither and Quay as well, as we're talking through some of the football games we've got coming on this weekend. And we got to start with the La Vega Pirates. Like I said, the La Vega pregame show will be on here in about 30 minutes. And they are taking on a Brownwood squad as La Vega's looking to bounce back in this one. They've dropped 2 games already so far this year. And a lot of people, you know, they want to write them off after they see that, La Vega's already lost 2 games. They're not going to have a good season. They've played really good teams to start this season already. They started it off by playing a really good Kennedale team. And then the last 2 weeks, they played Salina, who's a top team in 4A Division I, and West Orange Stark, who is always one of the top teams as well. So, yes, they've dropped 2 games, but they've lost to 2 really good teams. And Coach Hyde does this on purpose. He doesn't lose on purpose, but he goes out here and gets teams that he knows are formidable. So this team can be tested before they get into the playoffs, before they get into district play, especially this year with their district being a lot tougher. They got China Spring in the district. They got Conley in the district, who's 3-0. So there's some tough teams in this. Robinson's been playing good as well. Gatesville has looked better as the season has gone on. Very, very competitive district that La Vega is in. So he wanted these guys to be tested before they come into these games, before they get ready for district. He wants them to be battle-tested already, and that they are. And they're going to get another grit test tonight as they go to Brownwood to play Brownwood. I've been there a couple of times covering Conley in the past, so I've been to this stadium a few different times. They have a great home crowd there. This Brownwood team is really good. I think PJ was with me one of the years we did the Brownwood game and got to see a really good Brownwood team. Brownwood is one of those teams that people sleep on, but they're 2-1 coming into this game. They've got a lot to prove. They want to come out here and get a win as well, especially with them playing at home. So La Vega, like I said, taking them on, and that game is at 7:30, I believe. So make sure you guys are getting ready for that. That'll be right here. Any thoughts about the La Vega game taking on Brownwood? Quay, I'll start with you, or former La Vega alumni. What do you think about this game and what La Vega's done so far this season?
I'm gonna always be unbiased. Even though I went to La Vega, Coach Howell always does this.
Yeah.
You can't really write him off because he figures out ways to get his kids ready for district. Everything else is literally the season doesn't start to district in Coach Howell's mind.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to battle system. He wants to put you up against good competition. He don't want you to be 5-0 going in, hasn't played anybody, thinking that momentum is going to carry over, and you going into a tough district. Conley gonna always give you their best game, and you know what they have over there. Gageville, Lorena, they want to play La Vega. They want to prove their point. None of those games are walks and gives me, and Coach Hyde tries to get them flipped. And, La Vega, they're going to play a tough district. A tough schedule. So, them first two losses don't really mean too much until district. They kind of scheduled it like that, and hopefully they bounce back, get a good win here, and come on home with it and try to figure it out for district.
Yeah, and I think just like you said, he packs this preseason schedule, and the most important point you made was these pre-district games don't matter. They matter, but they don't count anything towards how playoff seeding works or anything like that. It really only matters for your overall schedule, but as far as district play and playoff seeding, that's all based off district play, and Coach Hyde knows that. He knows that the district is where the noise is really going to be made, and there's been teams that started 0-3 or 0-4 and went on to either go to a state championship or win. South Oak Cliff last year was in the state championship. They started their season off 0-3 or 0-4. So that part, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, but it's not as important as district play. PJ, what do you think about this La Vega team so far, and then this game with them playing against Brownwood? I know you got to watch this Brownwood team play when we did their game a few years ago. So we'll come back to PJ in a second and get his opinion on that. But like I said, this La Vega team, no need to panic, everybody. No need to panic here about this game or about these games to start off the season. This is just pre-district. The district is where it really counts, and this is a good La Vega team. They're led by Bryson Rowland. They're led by Jabari Thornton and these other guys out there on the defensive side of the ball as well. They've got a good squad. They've got a good O-line. They've got a great running game. There's just some things they've got to tweak and be able to pull together in order for them to be able to pull this game out. I want to go through a couple other of these high school games, folks. I want to go through a couple other of these high school games while we're on here. A lot of good games going on around the Central Texas area. Last night, two of the undefeated teams to start the season off. Two of the undefeated teams to start the season off have lost, and that is Midway and University, two teams that I've enjoyed watching so far this season, as Midway traveled up to Mansfield last night and did not come out with the win in that one, playing a tough Mansfield team. Coach Gillespie has done a great job over there with these kids and being able to turn that program back around and get them back to winning games like how we're used to this Midway team doing, and we're used to this Midway program doing. So excited to see how they move throughout the rest of their season as they get into district play. Not worried about this Midway team at all. I think they still have a great chance to win their district. Austin is going to be playing Temple. Austin High playing Temple. That game is at 7:30. Keep an eye out for that one. University and Colleen Shoemaker played last night as well. Shoemaker was able to come out with a narrow victory in that one. This University team had a really good win last week against win last week against China Spring. This week, unable to come out with the win, but it is pre-district, and I'm still looking forward to big things from this University squad. They've got some dogs over there. They've got a two-headed running attack with Evans and with J.D. Bell out there as well. So excited to see what this University squad can do as they move forward. Waco High is taking on Navasota. That game is at 7. Waco High is 2-1 right now, and it's been a while since they've been 2-1. So that, yes, they've got to be able to enjoy this early success that they have, because these are those small steps that they need in order to come back and be able to build going forward in their season. If they can get to 3-1, it's going to be a lot of noise being made about this Waco High team. We know they didn't start the season off so great, but if they can get to 3-1, that'll be a huge success early, as far as early season success for this Waco High team and for their coaching staff out there, man. They've had a rough couple of years there at Waco High trying to get this team turned around. Right now, 2-1, taking on Navasota, chance to go 3-1, so I'll definitely be tuning in to that game. Belton is taking on San Angelo Central. That game is at 7 o'clock. China Spring going to Springtown. Springtown, another one of these stadiums that I've been to a few times. They're going to be a packed house in there. They get loud out there in Springtown for sure. So China Spring's got a tough road ahead of them taking on the Springtown team. But I think China Spring can come out with the win. They're looking to bounce back after their loss last week against University. Their quarterback battles, he really did a great job in that game, had over 150 rushing yards. Excited to see what he can do as they move forward in the season, and I expect them to get a win in a tough environment in Springtown tonight. Robinson taking on Glen Rose. Robinson and Glen Rose, this is a really good game. That's a matchup for this weekend, or for today. This Robinson team has been making some noise. They're 2-1. Glen Rose is 3-0. Glen Rose is number 2 in their division. So this Glen Rose team is really good, as we're used to seeing really good Glen Rose teams over the years. And this is going to be a good game. Excited to see what Robinson can do in this one. Lorena versus Cameron Yo, both two teams trying to get back on the right track. And Lorena and Cameron Yo, I expect Lorena to come out with the win in that one. McGregor taking on Gatesville. This Gatesville team has looked pretty good to start the season off, and I expect them to continue that against McGregor here tonight. Conley versus Alvarado. This is probably one of the best games, if not the best game, going on in the Central Texas area on Friday tonight. That game is at 7:30. Both of these teams 3-0. Conley really doing a great job. I'm not going to say surprising a lot of people, because we're used to the type of athletes that have been coming out of Conley over the last few years. Their running back, Braden Ford, he's got over 400 yards in their first 3 games. He's doing a great job. The 4-star athlete out there, Jamarian Vincent, he's been doing a great job leading this team, whether that's been throwing the ball, running with the ball, on the defensive side of the ball. He's done a great job to start this one off. So a lot of good teams, a lot of good games going on around the Central Texas area. We're going to take a quick break, but before we do, I want to talk about some of these players in high school football that have really just been standing out and doing a great job of making some noise through these first few weeks. I talked about the young kid out there, Jordan Smith, out there in Grosbeck. He's been a stud to start the season off. But there's some other kids out there as well. Jordan Smith, he's got 3 touchdowns and 377 yards rushing, but he's also one of the top receivers in the Central Texas area as well. Jamarian Vincent, he's played great. We just talked about him with Conley, 368 yards and 6 touchdowns to start the season off as the quarterback. That's his rushing stats, so he's done a great job. Braden Ford also with 400 yards rushing. Demontrell Medlock and Mart, he's done a great job of leading that team. He's got 8 touchdowns already rushing to start the season off. This 2-headed rushing attack at University, Ladarius Evans and J.D. Bell, have done a great job with University, and their help leading their team. They dropped a game last night, but I still expect big things out of this University team. The young kid, Lathan Wysitton from Midway, he's been doing a great job out there. He's got 5 touchdowns already to start this year off, and he's a young kid. He's a sophomore. So I'm really excited to see what he can do, not only this year, but as it gets throughout the rest of his career. Mason Smith at Waco High, he's been doing a great job of leading this team in rushing. Stephen Knight over at Robinson also have done a great job of leading this team at rushing. A lot of good football players in the Central Texas area, folks. One of the leading receivers is a kid from Rosebud Lott and Carson Kylig. He's got over 500 yards receiving already and 8 touchdowns. A lot to be expected out of him And that Rosebud Lot team is looking pretty decent to start the year. Cade Bynum has done a good job with University, over 250 yards. Tyler Seath from Midway with 240 yards to start the season. And Jabari Thornton, who I think is probably the best athlete out of all the receivers that we've named so far at La Vega. When they get him the ball, he is dangerous, and he's been able to make plays all season long. So super excited to see him tonight. Like I said, the pregame show is going to be coming on after this. Folks, we're going to take a very short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk some more college football with Quay and PJ on here to close out the show and to get you guys ready for the football weekend. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back. You're watching Centex Primetime here on Infinity Sports Radio and Centex Sports Network.
Feels for me. The banana pudding peach cobbler make you want to holler for me. It's the candy yams, mac and cheese, beef tips, pork tips and rice, collard greens. It's a sweet potato pie, sweetie. Fried chicken you've been missing, the lemon sweet tea dressing on Sundays when you all dressed up. Chest pie, buttermilk and pound cake. Cornbread with butter just dripping, always fresh baked. If you need southern style, soul food, home cooked meals that you can feel. Chicken and dumplings, chicken pot pie. 719 South 11th Street. Sassy's, come on by.
When you suffer an injury at home, work, or on the road involving a car, 18-wheeler, or motorcycle, the first thing you need to do before calling anyone is dial 1-800-INJURIES for locally owned and operated the Zimmerman Law Firm. Hey, this is Big Rich, and the Zimmerman Law Firm has represented thousands of Central Texans in the last 50-plus years and handled more personal injury cases than any other local firm. When you call the Zimmerman Law Firm, you talk to a lawyer, no matter how big or small your case, and they guarantee you're financially taken care of because they only get paid when you win. Hey, don't just take my word for it. Heart of Texas Reader's Choice has named Zimmerman Law Firm the best in Waco. So remember, if you get injured at home, work, or on the road, it just takes one call, y'all, to 1-800-INJURIES or zlawhelp.com for the Zimmerman Law Firm and tell them I told you to call. Principal Office, Waco, Texas. No fee unless you recover.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans. We can talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports.
Welcome back in, everybody, to Centex Prime Time. We're here in the last few minutes as we only go to 6:30 on the Friday Night Lights edition of Centex Prime Time, folks. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in with us so far today. We had Jordan Williams on in the first hour, the former Baylor Bear and the XFL standout who's been doing a great job out there. We had him on in the first hour. If you want to go back and watch some of that, tune in on the YouTube. You can just rewind it, or as soon as this episode is over, you can just start it over and you'll be able to catch that as well. I'm on here with Quay, and we're going to talk about some of these college games, man. Quay, I want to ask you about the home team, man. Baylor out here. They're taking on Colorado in what's going to be a big game. Like we talked about before the season started, this is a big game for both of these teams when they got to this point. They're both 2-1. I think we almost predicted their records, too, thinking they were going to be a 2-1. Well, I thought Colorado would be 3-0. By this point, but I kind of figured Baylor would be 2-1 as they got to this point. And this is a big step for either team. Both teams, this is going to be a big game for them coming into this. Baylor trying to stay competitive in this Big 12 and trying to prove that they turn their program around. And Colorado, we know all the pressures that they have on them over the year or as the season progresses just because of who their head coach is, because of who their quarterback is, and then they got Travis Hunter as well. Guys want to see them succeed, and guys want to see them fail. That's just the harsh reality of it. But how do you see this game shaking out on Saturday, Baylor going up to Colorado to take on Colorado?
This is going to be a big testament game for Baylor. We know that everybody Colorado plays, we're going to get their best game. So this is going to be able to determine how much the level of play Baylor can raise their play to. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We've seen other teams get their best shot, even if they're having a terrible season. We play in Colorado, we on prime time, no matter what the whole country watching, we're going to be able to see what the Baylor players are about. So I think Colorado, they don't need to throw at Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Just keep the game in front of them, play the game that they need to play, And I have an opportunity because I don't, Colorado is just not complete. They have great players. You can't let Jimmy Horn and all these guys get behind you. They got a four-headed monster receiver. Colorado gets out to an early start. It's gonna be tough for Baylor, but I think this is where Baylor can come in and solidify themselves. This is a conference game. Just like you got to come out and get a dub. But I'm gonna take Colorado. I haven't, even though it's the home team. I just think the
No, for
quarterback
sure.
Baylor just been shaky for me.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a new quarterback. DeQuan Finn played the first couple games. He's been hurt last week. Sawyer Robinson came in, but that's Air Force. You don't really know what you're going to get out of him, especially in a tough environment like this. This Baylor offense did look better, though, with Sawyer Robinson out there, in my opinion. But you're playing a monster on the other side on the offensive end. And their defense can be taken advantage of. Colorado can't stop the run still. They still got the young kid, Bryson Washington, is going to be coming back for Baylor at running back. They've got Pendergrass out there as well. They got Richard Reese, who's been there, the veteran. So they've got a running game in Baylor. If Baylor can lean on their running game and keep the ball out of Shador's hands, I think they got a chance. The D-line can get after him because Colorado's O-line is not good. But if Colorado goes up 14-0, 14-3, not only is that crowd going to be on Baylor, but Baylor's offense isn't built to be able to come back against a lead like that. We saw it against Utah. Not saying that this Utah or this Colorado defense is like Utah's defense, but Baylor's offense, like I said, is not built to be able to come back like that against a team that's got a high-powered offense like a Colorado. So this is going to be a close one, man. I'm really excited to watch this. This is going to be at 7 o'clock on primetime television right on Fox. Colorado is a 2-point favorite in this game right now. So this is going to be a super interesting game for both sides. Both sides have a lot of storylines to write after this, so that's why I'm excited to watch this one. So that game is at 7 o'clock. There's a couple more good games coming on this weekend. USC versus Michigan is this weekend. That game is at 2:30. I expect USC to go ahead and wash Michigan out of there, man. I'm not expecting a lot out of Michigan really at all. But in the Big 12, a huge game going on in the Big 12 right before this Baylor and Colorado game, and that's Utah versus Oklahoma State. I think if Cam Rising plays with Utah, it's going to be tough for Oklahoma State to get a win, even though it's at Stillwater in Oklahoma State. But their offense hasn't looked too great to me for this Oklahoma State team. Yes, these are both kind of defensive teams, but I was expecting a little more out of Oklahoma State's offense. It's going to be a big test for both teams, and this could be a preview for the Big 12 championship, really. Quay, what do you think about Utah taking on Oklahoma State? I think Utah is number 12 in the country, and Oklahoma State number 14.
Like you said, Oklahoma State more defensive. They are gonna play, but they can't play from behind. This Utah team is more defensive, but they're more put together on offense than Oklahoma State is, from what I've seen. I haven't watched all of Oklahoma State game. I just caught some of them in the midst of watching all the games. But their defense, they come out, they play hard, and they have great talent in the defense. The offense is they can't play from behind. The Utah team is playing. They kind of just come out and play Utah football. So I think I'm gonna take Utah in that one, but I think Oklahoma State defense will come out and it'll be a close game. It'll be a close game. I think it'll come down to the wire, and whoever defense can come out and get those stops. Which I do like Oklahoma State defense, but they offense got to come on and match what they defense is giving.
No, yeah, I agree. I might be leaning a little more towards Utah in this one, but it's close. It's such a toss-up game. Because it's at Oklahoma State, that adds another factor in, man. Stillwater's a tough place to play out there. And both of these teams, they got a lot riding on this because they're the two top teams as of right now in the Big 12. So huge games going on in the Big 12. That's another one. Last game I want to preview with you, Quay, right before we get off here, is a huge game in the SEC, in this new SEC, with Tennessee at number 6. We know about their quarterback, Nico, and he's a dog out there. They've been putting up 70 and 65 and 50-something points every week, taking on an OU team, but they're playing at OU, playing in Norman, a tough environment. This Oklahoma team, they've had their ups and their downs already to start the season. They're 3-0, but they've had moments where they look really good, and they've had moments where they've looked kind of pedestrian. They're taking on a real live juggernaut in this Tennessee offense, and I'm really excited to see how this team looks because, one, Tennessee, this is their first big test. They've been playing honestly some subpar competition to start the year. And then for Oklahoma, they want to be able to prove, hey, man, we belong in this SEC, in this new look SEC. A lot of the SEC teams didn't really want Oklahoma in there. I was one that said, I don't know why Oklahoma went. I thought they should have stayed in the Big 12. They could have dominated in the Big 12, but they wanted to get some of that SEC money, so I understand that. They go over there, and they're trying to make a case that, hey, we belong this year. It's not going to take us a few years to rebuild. We can do this year. So huge game for both sides. What do you think about the outcome in this game? Number 6, Tennessee, going to number 15, Oklahoma on Saturday.
To go back to your point, I think Oklahoma should have stayed in the Big 12. Even I knew they went to the SEC. It was still kind of weird watching the transition. The transition was weird, but Oklahoma, like you said, they had their ups and downs. They still figuring out their identity. They're better defensively than they've been in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But their offense is still stagnant, trying to figure it out. Like you said, it ain't just flowing. It's not one big engine. It's either they're playing good or they're playing bad, which is a lot of teams playing like that, figuring out their identity. I'm going to take Tennessee because the amount of points they put up is so fast. I think Oklahoma defense is good, but they're going to get tested. And Tennessee, this is going to be the game that I think they're going to come out and show that, yeah, they're mad that Oklahoma is in the SEC too. So they're going to come out and try to show that they really don't belong. And I think Oklahoma is going to come out and show that they belong. And so it's going to be tough playing Oklahoma anyway, but I think Tennessee comes out, even if it's a shootout, they just know how to put up the points when it matters.
Yeah, Tennessee, this offense is honestly ridiculous through the first few weeks. They've looked crazy. Yeah, they haven't played top competition, but like we said on the show yesterday, I think when PJ was on there, it's tough to put up 70 points on anybody. They beat Kent State last week 71-0. They opened up the season playing Chattanooga. They beat them 69-3. And NC State, who was a ranked team when they played them, and a Power 4 team in the ACC, they beat them 51-10. So, I mean, this offense is tough. To Quay's point, like you said, that was a great point. Their defense has looked a lot better. We know when Lincoln Riley was there, they didn't play any type of defense whatsoever. But their identity, as they're searching for it, has kind of leaned more on their defense to start this season, and their defense does look pretty good. They've still got some top recruits out there on both sides of the ball, but they've got a real test with Tennessee coming into town this weekend. So, folks, we're getting ready to log off here today for today's episode as we get ready for the La Vega pregame show. That'll be coming on at 7 o'clock. Some more good games going on. I think tonight Illinois and Nebraska will be playing. I'll be tuning into that game when I'm not watching some of La Vega play. I'll just to try to catch an eye on another ranked matchup. Illinois at 24 and Nebraska at 22. Some more good games coming on this weekend. More good NFL games coming on Sunday. We'll have a lot to talk about when we come back on Monday as far as catching you up on all these games. But for tonight, make sure you guys are catching this La Vega game tonight. They take on Brownwood. They're traveling up to Brownwood, trying to get back in the win column, get to 500 before they get their district play started. So big game tonight. You can listen to that right here on Infinity Sports Radio, Central Texas. Also, you can listen on the dial on 94.5 FM if you want to be able to listen on there. Thanks to everybody for watching with us, not only today, but throughout this whole week. It's been a pleasure chatting with you guys so far this week, and we're going to see you guys next week. Get ready for that. Make sure you go to YouTube, Centex Sports TV, and Centex Sports Network. Also, download the app so you can listen to this content weekdays 5 to 7. That's Centex Sports 1 on the Google Play Store and on the Apple Store as well. Appreciate PJ for jumping on here with me today. Also appreciate Quay for coming on here and chopping it up. And shout out to Jordan Williams, who jumped on with us in the first hour. If you want to watch that, go back on the YouTube after the stream ends and start the episode over. You'll be able to catch us on there for the first 30 minutes. Folks, like I said, pregame show starting at 7. La Vega versus Brownwood starts at 7:30, so get ready for that. We will see you guys next week. Have a good evening and get ready to watch some high school football tonight.
Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.